Lantoinette Steins, who is the founder of La Cadco Dance Company, has developed what you call Leon Tech, which is a technique of dance that she has created, which she now has put into a curriculum. Just like how you have the Norton technique and you have the Graham technique, and you have several other techniques in European ballet and European modern dance, sorry.
My thought was, how feasible is it to really, put some heads together and decide what is dance X, what composes dance Y, what is the character of dance Z, and define it in such a way that there is a standard and everybody uses as a measurable, yes, replicable standard to which we, let's say, everybody sticks. For example, you have tango, the dance tango. Yes, there's Argentinian tango. I think there's is an attempt to kind of reclaim it somehow, but of course, then you have the European standard tango, and then you have also, now I'm here about the Russian standard tango and so on. And I think it's such a shame, that everybody calling a whole heap of things for them do Jamaican. And us as Jamaicans, we should own that standard and we should stay loyal to it. You understand? So that is where I'm coming from. There's a lot. I'm kind of holding back some passion there where that is concerned. But this is an idea. This is something that I would love to see.
Well, Ian, let me first of all put it into perspective. And I share your passion and your intent, but I just wanted to sort of explore what is actually happening. And at this point, I want to personally acknowledge Professor Rex, the late Professor Rex Nettleford, for helping to preserve Jamaica's cultural heritage through dance. And I start there because the dance standard must serve a purpose.
Who is the man? A seasoned practitioner in dance, artistic director and producer of theatrical works, performance coach, award-winning actor, and the current director of arts and culture at the University of Technology, Jamaica, Philip Clarke. Philip actually joins us on the English Coach podcast for the third time. For this, episode 52, part 2 of a talk previously published as episode 50. For those of you who don't follow the show yet, from wherever you listen to podcasts, the very first conversation with Philip featured at the beginning of the crisis in episode 19. The man is also by now himself a seasoned podcaster. Check out the show notes for his links at www.trainingtree.de/podcast or englishcoachpodcast.com. It is a long one today, so I'll start short. Special mentions go out today, however, to a few course participants who have themselves been generous enough to actively engage and openly express their enthusiasm about their own learning experience with good, real, workable results to show for it. As well as to those who just like the show and have given meaning to the things I think about the show by sharing their thoughts with me. You know yourselves. So this one goes out to Marco, Benedict, Michael, and Yusuf, all course participants from here in Germany. And, last but not least, to an avid listener from all the way over there in Kingston City, Jamaica, Lorraine. Thanks to all of you. Now, this small token of gratitude goes out today because I do this for people. And some souls simply help to make it easy and free for me to take my usual relaxed, accessible, human approach to your learning experience.
So in creating a standard, there must be a purpose that you're trying to serve. Rex's pieces were an expression. They were an expression of African traditions, which survived colonialism and slavery. We now fast forward to dance hall music and subsequently dance hall dance, which has been a significant contribution that Jamaicans have made to the world of dance. And one of the backlashes that Rex got at the time was that he was doing something that was not modern, it was not ballet, and it was not fitting the European standards, as you call it. But he was embarking on something that was actually getting a society to become more culturally positive, conscious, and confident. And he developed the National Dance Theatre Company, which is an institution, but did not necessarily get us to ensure that we own the dance, get us to own the tradition of the dance as a type, as a standard that is reckoned against the rest of the world. But there's a young lady, Maria Hitchens, who lectures at the Edna Manley School of the Visual and Performing Arts in the dance department. And she was able to write a course, a curriculum in dance. I also want to acknowledge Orville Hall, who is the founder of Dance Expressions. And he was able to institute dance hall, just like Maria, at Exed Community College as a course within that institution. And I think of those examples as strides in the way in which we get persons to acknowledge and to recognize that dance hall in itself is a genre of dance. It has its own choreography, it has its own steps, and there are elements in which we can use to build and create a dance. Lantonette Steins, who is the founder of La Cadco Dance Company, has developed what you call Leon Tech, which is a technique of dance that she has created, which she now has put into a curriculum. Just like how you have the Norton technique and you have the Graham technique, and you have several other techniques in European ballet and European modern dance, sorry. You have the Leon Tech technique now, which is a Caribbean, African, intensive type of technique that you should now incorporate into our dance. So in terms of speaking to a standard, I think it is happening. However, I share your point of view when you say people coming up with these things and calling it Jamaican. I find just like patois, sometimes people don't understand that dancehall has a language. Dancehall has a grammar, a technique to it. But the truth is, Ian, that a lot of the persons who are embracing or not embracing dancehall music now has a lot to do with embracing the culture of what it means to be Jamaican. So you have to start with educating people about what it means really to embrace our culture. For example, we can go back to reggae music. Reggae music was not accepted by Jamaicans the way it was accepted by Europeans and the rest of the world.
That is true.
And it was because reggae became accepted in the rest of the world, why we now begin to embrace it and now look at it as a part of brand Jamaica. You follow what I'm saying? So
I do follow what you're saying.
There's some work to do when we come on to embracing what we call dance hall music and dance hall dance. I know people who do not listen to dance hall music because for them, Jamaicans that is, for them, it describes and represents violence and slackness and crime and promotes crime. And there's that element of it. there is that element of it. But we see we have to have a point in time in our educational research and awareness. Maybe it's a public relations campaign we need to do. But there needs to be something where we now embrace our culture as it is ours, because we're still taking a long time to accept patois, right? So when we talk about dancehall dance now as a standard, we're getting somewhere, but for the entire population to embrace it, to say, okay, this is something that we endorse, there needs to be an acceptance of who we are as Jamaicans, and that is expressed through our dance hall dance.
Wenn du magst, was du hörst, teile es einfach mit einem Freund, egal wo du Podcast hörst. Wenn du es sogar sehr magst, behalte es einfach für dich und melde dich jetzt an, um der privaten Hörgruppe beizutreten unter www.englishcoachpodcast.com. If you like what you hear, share it with a friend from anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you like it a lot, keep it all to yourself. And sign up now to join the private listeners group at www.englishcoachpodcast.com. Okay, so while we're here, I want to take this small opportunity to make quick mention and again extend a small token of gratitude to my friend, colleague, and fellow creative Andy Beck. Andy featured in episodes 32 and 39. Published a book that I can recommend called Folk Springs Eternal, now available on Amazon. Recently released a cover to the song I See Fire by Ed Sheeran, now available also on Spotify. And generously composed for this show the jingle that you will hear just about now.
So yeah, man, what I'm trying to do, I'm sure that there's some of the listeners there, people are gonna be listening now and they're gonna say, well, that sounds really cool, but where do I start? Yes, do they come to your website? Do they give you a call? Do they like you on Instagram? What do they do?
Okay, so you can find me on my website. It's www.philip with one L, A-L, Clarke, no space, with an E.com. And on that website, you will see several opportunities to send me an email, to contact me. And I have a section that has frequently asked questions so that you can actually see what are some of the things that I do if you have any questions up front. You can also hit me up on Instagram. My handle is at Philip A.L. Clarke. And you can send me a DM right there as well. And I will be very, very happy to answer you. I'm also on Facebook as Philip Clarke. So you can see me, Philip Clarke Performance Coach. I have a Facebook page, and you can hit me up there, whether by DM or Messenger on Facebook as well. You can call me 876-428-8495, wherever you are in the world, and I will speak with you. Or you can WhatsApp me on the same number.
Fantastic. By the way, you're not on LinkedIn.
I'm also on LinkedIn, and that is the site that I really speak to a lot of the professional friends, but it doesn't really matter. I am all over LinkedIn. I am also available through my messenger on LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Philip. That was good, for just in case there was anyone who wants to hook up. Now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Yeah.
And I'm also on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter as well.
On Twitter, oh my God, man, you're tweeting all over the place.
That's right.
That's how we have to do it these days, man. That's how we have to do it.
Links in the show notes, and on with the show.
Yes, you're talking a lot about that. Yeah, but you ended with dance hall at the end of it. I mean, I don't necessarily see dance hall as the only place where reggae music is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not necessarily. But what I do agree with you with is the fact that, of course, there has to be a purpose. I mean, the place where I'm coming from with this is also, I mean, it's a little bit passionate. I work a little as a dance photographer, and I see how I have some contact in that world. Spent a lot of time there, and I'm still in contact with a lot of people who work in the art. But I just think it would be a nice thing to have. I mean, it is one of the things that defines us as a people. So I've definitely accepted it. I like dancehall, also not all aspects of it, but I mean there's just that vibe is just I mean I don't celebrate everything that dancehall sounds like it celebrates all the time. I don't really go to dancehall for intellectual stimulation, but I go there for other kinds of stimulation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course, and the what I would like to see. I mean, it's not really. It might come across as some kind of anger. It's not an anger. It is something that I think we as a people should really accept and promote and own. And if it ever comes to a stage where this is this becomes a replicable standard, then we should be the ones who who own that standard and
Mhm.
decide what is what and
Mhm.
what is dancehall.
And
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah. So I
right.
see it.
Absolutely.
You're right, in terms of, it's a bigger thing. It's a bigger thing. I am well aware of the fact as well. So Bob Marley, for example, as a child, not everybody liked the idea of Bob Marley. They didn't like the image that Bob Marley being the loudest mouth from Jamaica, so to speak. They didn't like that wasn't exactly the image. It was an
Right.
era where everybody was probably trying to be British or trying to be American. And
Right.
there wasn't this acceptance, and they didn't really like what he was representing or what he seemed to represent. And there is a certain self acceptance that has to probably happen first before we embrace it. But you call some good names there. And when I see the work, I see Rex's work. I see Rex's work, right? That is a standard. That is one of the standards of which I speak. I have seen the work from Lakatko, Antoinette Steins. I've seen her work as well. And when I speak of standards, that is exactly what I mean. So I'm already happy to hear that these standards exist. They have been institutionalized and they're there and growing, right? But there's more. There's this dance. I don't remember what it name. I can't remember it right now. Things like Kumina. So Kumina was probably part of Dr. Rex's repertoire.
Yes.
There's a lot more. Some people don't even know that ska comes from Jamaica. I have to say, well, the Skatalites, and then they start thinking, oh, the Skatalites, okay, they're from
Mhm.
Jamaica. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
When the people doing ska now, and they don't even know where it's from.
Wow. But you see, well, that is the failure of some of us educators in not documenting a lot
Hmm.
of stuff because we don't write a lot of stuff. And a lot of Europeans come here and they document
Hmm.
on behalf of us. And
Hmm.
sometimes when they document, sometimes you lose certain things in translation.
Mento. That's what I was trying to remember. What is
Oh,
going
yes,
on with
yes.
Mento?
Mentor is our first music. Mentor is our first music, first Jamaican music.
What's going on?
You know,
I love Mento. I have one CD full
I
of
thought,
Mento.
as a matter of fact, when I started my performing arts company several years ago, you did what you call fusion in my technique of dance. So whenever I'm doing modern, I always fuse a little bit of Dinky Mini.
Dinky Mini. Oh my God.
Dinky Mini is a dance from mental music, and I would
Mm-hmm.
infuse Dinky Mini into classical music. So I would get some of the guys to be dancing Dinky Mini, but to classical music. I would get dancehall movements
Mm-hmm.
put into a piece of music that is quite classical. You would hear it and you say, but that doesn't sound like dancehall. But when you look on the stage, you're seeing them doing dancehall moves. So I said
Mm-hmm.
to myself, this is one way of creating uh, a power of our culture in such a way that when you see me doing my moves to your music, you're
You
like,
Dinky Mini.
okay, that sounds like it's a reversal of colonization. I
Yes,
mean, I am telling
man.
you So we do it.
In reverse.
So I love that, and I know that if I do it again, I certainly will be creating my dance movements out of Jamaican music. So every time I do hip hop, if I do classical, if I do modern, if I do soul, there must be a Jamaican move in it that defines the way how I send the message out in this piece of music. So yeah.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like European standards, but what I mean? You know what I mean? Why should
I
our
know,
standards
I
come
know.
from here? No, no, no. And I mean, the thing is, for example, me, right now I have a friend, she's helping me. She's helping me to do things like Roomba, quick step, foxtrot, all these
Mhm.
walls. I'm not there yet, but I've done tango, I've
Yeah,
done salsa, I've done bachata, and a lot of, well, those are more
nice.
Latin. But like for example, right now I'm on the Roomba thing. Yeah, and one of my goals
Mhm.
right now is to do there's Roomba and Cha-Cha, which are pretty close. Roomba is a little more slow and deliberately sensual kind of,
Mhm.
and I want to do that to hip hop. Yes,
Mhm.
man. Yes, man. Yeah,
Mm.
man. Ballroom style to raw cha hip hop.
Nice.
Yeah, you just want the
Nice.
right
Nice.
timing.
Nice.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. That's an idea,
Yes.
Yes, man. You should probably
Listen,
look into
did you
that.
watch the movie? Did you watch the movie? Not Step It Up.
Step up. I think
Um,
it's step up. Is it step up?
it's not
No.
Step Up. It's the one with they had ballroom dancing in it, but the guys came from the young people. They came from the projects, the inner
Mm-hmm.
cities, and
Yeah,
so
man.
they did their ballroom piece to a hip hop dance that
Mhm.
was really very cool.
It's one of the
I
coolest
think it
things.
was
I tell you.
take. I think it was the last. Well, not the last dance. It was take the
Take that.
take the dance or something.
Take
I don't
that
know.
or so. I don't know. It's fine. I've not getting a promotion right now. But what I mean, you can write me next time. but that's what I like. I had a friend as well. His name is Saeed Elamia. He is an educator in dance as well. He's I think he's in Munich and he spent some time in Switzerland as well. And he's working at doctor's level, master's of doctor's level with dance science. And we spoke about that in one of the first podcasts, and he specifically said, of course you can have fusions, but before you have a fusion, you have to first fully understand each genre.
Absolutely.
That's why, I mean, we have to also know ourselves and accept ourselves because, I mean, the volumes that are at play with Jamaican music, Jamaican dance, Jamaican vibe outside of Jamaica is massive, as most people don't really recognize the value of that sunshine feeling. They don't know. Yeah. When I say to people, they say, "Where are you from?" And I say Jamaica. Tell you something. You know what they say? They say to me, Jamaica, Genozo, exactly like that.
Energy.
Regardless of probably some of the bad things that you might hear sometimes. What does that say? That says that the name itself, the brand Jamaica, is positive,
Yes.
right? And that sunshine feeling, I
Yeah.
tell you that sunshine feeling is very valuable. And it's no secret, it's no secret here that it's very valuable. But the sad thing is that us not embracing it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as our own for what it is,
Mm-hmm.
that is sad.
Yes. That is the point. And another thing I wanted to say though is that in the evolution of dance choreography, one of the things that and I think the dance educators at Edamande are trying to do that, but a lot of the dances that are created in the entertainment space are created by the artists. So
Mm-hmm.
Beanie Man come up with a dance, Elephant Man comes up with a dance, what's his name? Ravers come up with a dance. So all of these people, when they put out a song, they come up with a dance. So if you talk to Rex Nettleford, the late great Rex Nettleford,
Mm-hmm.
he would tell you he sits down. He sits down with a piece of music for days, sometimes weeks, and then he creates it in his mind, and then he tries to put it on bodies. in front of him. So there's a process, as opposed to a dancehall artist coming up with a piece and says, okay, this is called the Over the Moon, right?
Over the moon,
This is called
yes.
the Over the
And coffee
Moon.
cup.
It's what I'm saying.
Mm,
And so dance is not taken seriously by the general population when you do it that way. And therefore, dancers, people who go to a training school to learn dance, are not taken as seriously, because you got school to go learn how to do them the foolishness there. What that? You know? So there's an educational awareness that needs to take place, and there needs to be a cultural awareness of what it means to be Jamaican, but what it means to be a Jamaican entertainer, performer, cultural representative, whatever it is. Because one of the things I want artists to know in Jamaica is that when you put out something, just as you said a while ago, Ian, the world is going to respond to it, and they respond to it in this way. Jamaica, what is that? Why is it your responsibility to preserve that? And how do you do that?
I had the benefit of experiencing National Dance Theatre Company and Lacadco in performance a few times in Kingston, Little Theatre I think it was once, and another one I don't remember right now. And that format, it's unfortunately a lot of people either don't take it seriously or have not had the opportunity to experience that format. Yes, which then does it does have its intellectual value and so on and so forth. Accepting it on that level, I'm not quite sure if that is why. I mean, for something to get to that stage where it gets to that kind of stage, if by the time it gets there, if it's really the Beanie Man style, the, as I said, the coffee cup or the butterfly, I don't know if these styles get featured at that. I don't know if they go through or what remains after they go through a process, the Rex process you just mentioned there. What remains of this rawness?
I've seen the National Dance Theatre do dance hall. It is, in my opinion, not as raw and authentic, but
Hmm.
it does happen. And you have to recognize now these are dancers with some amount of dance training in modern, in ballet, and other dance forms that are now stylizing. It's called stylizing the
Hmm.
dancehall music, dancehall dance. And so a stylized dancehall dance doesn't come across as the real raw dancehall dance. It's almost sanitized, right? And so you get a variation of it. But I want to say this, that Kumina, for example, got onto the stage of the National Dance Theatre Company as a performance. But if you were to watch Kumina in its real rawness, you will not get the same effect. Because again, what Rex did was that he took it out of that context and was able to make it stage ready. Right. So this is what will happen to most times when you take a dance and put it on a stage for it to be performed. But not all the time, because I know that other dance companies who do dance all on stage, they really recreate it in the very raw, natural way that it is out there on the street. Right. So it has a lot to do with art. And so we have to get an appreciation of what art is. Art can be interpreted in several ways. So when I put something on stage and you say to me, "What? That's not the real thing." Well, I don't try to bash
Hmm.
them. Try to open up your mind, because it is art interpreted, right? You made a point a while ago about some persons might not get the opportunity to see what's on that stage. And Ian, that's a very, very valid point. And I remember giving a lecture, a guest lecture at Northern Caribbean University on Jamaican dance. And when I mentioned Rex Nettleford's name, the students in my class vaguely knew who I was talking about. And two, they did not know any NDTC performance. They have never been to any NDTC performance. This is a room full of children, of university students. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a sort of an elitist attitude associated with dance when it comes on to the NDTC. There is, and I'm not, and I mean, people might hear me talking and say, but it doesn't trickle down into the man on the street, because dance like that is considered uptown, and then men who dance like that are considered homosexuals. So that's not how bad man dance. Okay, so there is a divide when it comes on to how we view that type of dance, and as a result of that, it doesn't trickle down necessarily into the rest of society, and so we don't accept it as. So as you said, a lot of variables. A lot of variables.
Well, whatever the case is, I mean, you mentioned some fantastic, impressive names there. You really have some names just like that. And I hope that they get a chance to listen to this and know that, there are people in other places thinking about that at least.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know, I mean, in terms of visualization, I do visualize that happening one day. Us being able to look at another dance and say, well, oh, they call that dance all Jamaican, but that's a stylized version. That's where we should be.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. Yes, man. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Well, Philip, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I mean, I've been asking you questions all this time. You also get to ask me one question if you want. I mean, the stage was yours today, but if you want to lend me or you can save it for the next one. I don't know. Maybe you want to ask me something. I don't know.
Well, I didn't particularly have any questions for you. I just wanted it to flow. I just wanted it to flow like a conversation, because there are certain things that
Mm-hmm.
we're learning from each other. Your description of what Jamaica means to the average European was something that I learned today. The sunshine effect. That's something.
It's just the answer, the first answer they give. What it means, and there's probably 2 or 3 shows, but yeah, it's just a reaction that means a lot. It's loaded because as soon as I say Jamaica, it's Jamaica. Everybody, it doesn't matter where they are. Yeah, what part of Germany? Speaking about Germany. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you say it's loaded, then I can understand that there are several category variables there then.
It's loaded. It's loaded because people imagine all sorts of things. I mean, trust me.
Well, I want to thank you for having me on this show. I didn't realize that, we were going to have such a long show, but I don't know if you're going to you're going to play everything all at once.
I don't know. I mean, so listen, my people, my listeners, I mean, they know what's good. Anybody who doesn't know what's good is their problem, This is not, it's not a collection of sound bites. It's a show that
Okay.
is that I mean to be engaging. I mean to put quality
Yes.
value. I want to put value out there. And I mean, as I say, if they don't know what's good, is their
Oh
problem.
my.
I'm not chopping up anything. I'm not on anyone's time. Yeah. If I want to put out a show 3 hours long, right? If it's good, it's just good.
Mhm.
You understand? If it's 7 minutes long, it's 7 minutes. If it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours.
And this was a good show, not because I'm in it.
It's an independent show, yes, and I have the privilege of inviting my own
Yes.
guests. Yes, people who stimulate me as well, my intellect as a person, and people who I think will be interesting for my listeners. Yeah, if they're not my listeners, then I mean, it's a free show.
I am honored, sir. I feel very honored and privileged right now.
And so do I. And that's why, I invited you for a second time. It's authentic, it's independent,
Mm-hmm.
it's real.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do enjoy sharing about Jamaica, and for your viewers, I really want to thank you in advance for listening and checking me out on Instagram and my website, because I do enjoy sharing myself with the rest of the world. And it's not just as a Jamaican, but I believe all of us are here for a purpose. And Ian, this evening, well, it's evening in Germany, but it's afternoon in Jamaica. I thank you for this privilege, sir. I really thank you for this. This is, I mean, I don't know what I deserve to get this interview, but I really want to thank you for giving me this platform. And I wish you all the best with your show. I'm very proud of your show, actually, and I've been promoting your show everywhere I can. I was speaking about your show in Toastmasters this week, actually, Toastmasters International Meeting. I don't know if you're aware of that
Oh, really?
organization.
You should share it. I want you to share it. You can share it to all of them.
Yeah, man. I told them that I was,
Toastmasters?
yes, Toastmasters International.
Really?
Hmm.
I tried with Toastmasters once. Actually, I did get registered. I was there maybe twice or three times, and then I got accepted here. So I left and came to Germany to study,
Hmm.
and yeah, but I've been speaking publicly ever since. I do appreciate the art of public speaking. Oratorship. Is that what you call it?
Yes,
Yes,
it's a
or yeah.
communication and leadership club.
Communication, leadership, appreciated as an art, and obviously there are also some scientific aspects of it. The Toastmasters for sure. I do feel honored if you have been mentioning the show. Of course, as I said again, I want you to share it with all of them. That's what I want. I don't need stars. I don't need
I
stars and love
will.
letters. Yes, I just want you to share it. They should hear it.
I will. I will. I will. I will.
It's good, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that I interrupted you, but there are lots of fine people on the show. I've had the privilege of I've had a rocket scientist, I've had botanists, different doctors of different things. Recently I had a mathematician, very nice lady. She's into mathematics professor actually. And I've had quite a few interesting personalities who we share, first of all, the language and also the importance of communication on the stage, incorporating art into what we call the performance and role playing. We all agree, I think, with the idea of different selves, and calling out these different selves situationally, and not caging ourselves into
Right.
a corner, by saying, well, yeah, this is what I am, this is what I'm not, because we are recreating ourselves every single day. You decide who you want to be,
Every day. Every day.
you know.
Every day. That's a
So
that's, that's a that's a fabulous comment. Fabulous statement. We're recreating ourselves every day. Yeah.
every day, really. Yeah, not 100%, but we do make decisions in a certain direction.
No, I believe we create ourselves. We create ourselves. So
Philip,
yes, sir.
to an extent, yes. Of course, we're influenced, but we are responsible for the choices we continue making. Of course, there are circumstances that we have no control over. You might find yourself in a very tricky situation where you don't really have so much control, but we do still have the responsibility of how we will deal with them, how we position ourselves to move forward.
I'd like to ask a question.
Oh, you do have a question.
There is this new Instagram talk show host, Emmanuel Acho. I don't know if you're aware of him.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately
He's the
not.
one who started off the show called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. I
Ah.
don't know if you heard that term. It's now a book. He has now written a book called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And Oprah, he got the attention of Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
And Oprah apparently wanted to invite him on her show. Oprah wanted to know who is this guy, and what is he really about? And one question that Oprah asked him was, what do you want? What's the purpose of
Mhm.
doing this show? In doing this show, what do you want? So I'm asking you the question now.
Mhm.
What does
Mhm.
Ian
Mhm.
Antonia Patterson want from this show?
All right. There are many things that I want, and we don't have
Oh,
time.
wow.
Well, to be honest, there's a reggae band. I can't call it a reggae band that I worked with here in Jamaica, in Berlin. They're called Seed, and I helped them once with just looking over some lyrics that they put together, and it was like in a Jamaica language direction, and I looked over that. And one of the guys I worked with called Frank Delay, and also this guy called Peter Fox. Very, very successful reggae-ish band. They do reggae sometimes and dancehall. And they have a song called House am See, which means a house on the lake. So, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I want my house on the lake.
Ah,
I want my house on the lake. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I want my house on the lake. Yeah, that's first thing. The second thing that I want to do, when I started the show, I spoke of a concept that is the notion of a democratization of the learning experience,
mhm.
which is using the internet that is in our pockets, the knowledge of the world that is in our pockets to find everything we need. The internet has taught me so many things. I mean, some of us love to hate Google, me too sometimes, and YouTube, but I have to thank them for the richness of knowledge that exists there. I've learned so many things. So this democratization of the learning experience is part and parcel of also this living what I like to call these days a digital identity. It's again, we're talking about taking ownership of standards. Now I'm talking about taking ownership of your digital identity. This is the voice that you have online, the reach of the media that everybody can put out. You can start a movement with a hashtag, right? The identity, which is a part of what we like to call the media, does this, the media do that, media, whatever, as if the media is somewhere else. The media is all of us, right? And we have to take ownership of our identity and our voice and put it out. So this is exemplary. One of the reasons as well is not just to help students to find a way to hold on to their language through interesting conversations from all over the world. It's also me taking ownership of my own digital identity. If I meet a young lady in a bar, in a restaurant, right, the first thing she does when she has to go to the bathroom, she goes to the bathroom, she asks Google who I am. So Google and all the things that go online, my iPhone, yes, my bank card, all of these things, maybe soon my car, my refrigerator is writing a story of who I am.
Mhm.
And I've decided to actively curate this story myself. Because a story is gonna be written anyway.
Absolutely.
So this voice that I'm putting out there is me. Yeah. So what I want is also for other people to recognize that they should do the same, right? This media is part of democracy. Also, it's so deep, because a functioning democracy, a pillar of a functioning democracy, is the media, and all of us are the media. And so, if you're living in anything you can call the free world, use the social nets, use the voice, use the Instagram, use the Facebook for something good and not just rubbish. Yeah.
I
So
agree.
this is me. I'm not gonna say to anyone, say do this, do that, and don't send jokes and smileys, yeah. But this is me living a reality that I imagine as an example,
Mm,
yeah. Instead of saying you should do it, it's just an example. So what I want from this show, yeah, I don't really want nothing, I mean, it supports my training practice. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's independent. As I say, it's a collection of sound bites from anyone. I'm not on anybody's time. This is my thing. It's authentic. There's so many people out there. Everybody running into podcasts these days. All these companies, yes, all these abstractions, yes, pretending as if they're people. They're not people. Yeah, they're not people. And they're not talking from heart. They cannot speak of passion. They cannot speak of feelings. They are just, as I said, sound bites, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and what I'm doing, I'm just talking to people. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Yeah,
Understood.
teaching is very fulfilling for me. I like to converse. I can be quiet and give the stage. I did that today very well, I think.
Yes, you did.
But this is me expressing a voice, man, and I want to be an example. I'm glad that you've started your show. I want other Jamaicans to also take ownership of their voice and the things they have to say and live the democracy that we have a chance to live, man. Not everybody has this chance. They should take it and use it for proper things. So that's it. It's very small,
Absolutely.
nothing big.
Well said. Well said, sir. Absolutely well. Fantastic.
Very
Okay.
small, nothing big, nothing big.
And thank you for the encouragement.
Yes, man. Yes, and I really do appreciate it, Philip. Philip, I've taken a lot of your time. We're 2 hours, 2 minutes, 38 seconds, 39. Until next time,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Hopefully, those people that you mentioned will hear the show, hear the thoughts that are happening in other parts of the world regarding a standard and framing
Yeah.
standards.
Well, I will do my best to share it as much in my network so that they can hear it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I'll do the same. I'll do the same. All right. Are we gonna call it a day?
Yes.
I think what is good has come to an end. Yes.
I know we could talk for a whole day, but time doesn't permit.
All right,
All right.
Philip.
Take
Also,
care.
thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Living the language means that my first mission here is to help my people, present and past course participants, and anyone else who just likes the show. The goal is to help you to keep the language skills you've learned, to keep you engaged with a little information and entertainment. My name is iAntonio Pattison, and I'd also like to say, with a small win is always a good way to begin. Check out the show notes for this episode at www.trainingtree.de/podcast or EnglishCoachPodcast.com. Like it if you like it, and if you don't, lie to me. Just kidding. But still, feel free to share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Give meaning to the things you think about the show by using the feedback form to tell me personally what you think. You can even use the voicemail function. Say a little bit about who you are and what you do, and you can even get featured on an upcoming show. Follow the show only if you feel like, so you know when there's a new episode available. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to hearing from you, and bye for now.
Jamaica.